Focus on the step in front of you and not the whole staircase. Love your enemies, for they tell you your faults. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. You don't have focus, not potential. You lack consistency, not skill. You lack strategy, not resources. You lack discipline, not capability. Your future is in your hands, and the doubt is in your head. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first. It is better to act and repent than not to act and regret. Excuses make today easy, but tomorrow harder. Discipline makes today hard, but tomorrow easier. Putting off until tomorrow is your weakness. A lack of boundaries invites a lack of respect. Circumstances make man, not man circumstances. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of a joy, you must have somebody to divide it with. Self-pity is dangerous. Stay away from it. Vision without execution is just a hallucination. Making too many efforts to forget someone is remembering them all the time. Stop choosing what's not choosing you. Learn to be okay with not being invited, included, or considered. You're very hard to control when you're healthy. You're very hard to manipulate when you're clear. You're very hard to influence when you're sovereign. Your direction is more important than your speed. You may not lead a comfortable life with a single source of income. You need to build others. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. Actions are the seeds of fate. Deeds grow into destiny. No work is beneath you. The only thing that should be beneath you is your big ego. Work hard in silence and show your skills at the job you get rather than criticizing the job. It's better to be alone than in bad company. The secret to success is to do the common things uncommonly well. Don't depend too much on anyone in this world, because even your own shadow leaves you when you are in darkness. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but gets you nowhere. Listen to the people who tell you what you don't want to hear. Life's tragedy is that we get old too soon, and wise too late. When in doubt, tell the truth. There is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. The man who was a pessimist before 48 knows too much. If he is an optimist after it, he knows too little. Time is your most valuable resource. There are no refunds or second chances for the time you waste. In most instances, obstacles are the way. Work at your job and make a living. Work on yourself and make a fortune. The hardest part is at the beginning of the journey. The rocket loses 90% of its fuel during takeoff. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. Where fear ends, the strength begins. You will never remember the days and nights you stay home and do nothing. Write injuries in dust, benefits in marble. Associate with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than in bad company. If a man empties his purse into his head, no one can take it from him. The journey of your success will always begin with the small step of taking a chance. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. The things you say about others say a lot about you. When you stop chasing the wrong things, you give the right things a chance to catch you. You are responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, you will always be disappointed. You are right about all the things you think you need to do. Don't wait. Get started. You have enemies? Good. That means you stood up for something, sometime in your life. It is the little conveniences that make the real comfort of life. It is easier to prevent bad habits than to break them. Don't be afraid to start over again. This time, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. It's not the future that's hazy. It's your thoughts about it. Stop expecting life to be fair. Start expecting yourself to be a better player, capable of handling any situation. Expect little from people. Expect a lot from yourself. That's the secret of a happy life. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. If you are a giver, know your limits because takers don't have any. Never share your problems with friends before finding a solution, no matter how challenging it is. Be a good person, but don't waste time proving it. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. The best way to keep one's word is not to give it. Today is the oldest you've ever been in your life, and the youngest you'll ever be again. Happiness is not for something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do, and then do it. If passion drives you, let reason hold the reins. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Always take responsibility for your actions, for it is the mark of a mature individual. Spend time with the elderly. Their wisdom and experiences are invaluable. There are times when you see someone for the last time and don't even realize it. Watch out. You'll never know the true value of the moment until it becomes a memory. There is no perfect time. You must take the time you have and make it perfect. The best thing about hard times is that you get to see everyone's true colors. What the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Be around people who feed your soul, not eat it. If you want the present to be different from the past, study the past. When writing the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold the pen. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. The most important decision you make is to be in a good mood. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. Be proud of how hard you are trying. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. If you stay positive in a negative situation, you'll win. The heaviest burden we carry is the weight of our expectations. Learn to handle rejection gracefully. It's a part of life. What to speak is knowledge, and when to speak is intelligence. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. Accept that you are not important to some people and move on. Every time when you are rejected for something good, you are redirected to something better. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing. And the worst thing you can do is nothing. Do what you can with what you have, where you are.